Hello and welcome back to Exothermic Plays Games. I'm Exothermic and the date today is Thursday, May 16th, 2024. I've been doing a countdown of my favorite video games of all time through each day of the year, and coming in at number 230 is Pokemon Stadium.
Taken down on the word go!
Most Pokemon games are role-playing games where the player journeys to become Pokemon Champion by training your companions to battle others and sometimes saving the world in the process. If you want to get rid of all of that story nonsense and just have cute animals fight each other, Pokemon Stadium is the game for you. Play solo against computers or match up against a friend. You can import your carefully crafted team from a Game Boy cartridge, or access preset Pokemon for the entire original Pokedex and rent out a team. Using your own Pokemon, you can do tons of rule sets, including level restrictions. Outside of that, however, it's best to just do the level 50 bracket if you're just looking to duke it out. That's easy. Put together your teams and get fighting. One of the cool tricks of Pokemon Stadium is how it's designed for multiple players to all use the same screen, including access to hidden information. Rather than navigating a menu and selecting everything one at a time, you use combinations of buttons on the controller to stealthily make your choices. Each player looks at their opponent's full team of 6 and selects just 3 of their Pokemon to take into battle. Once there, that same system can be used to select attacks and switch Pokemon without necessarily divulging hidden info to your opponent. If you're not sure of which buttons will select which things, you can hold one of the shoulder buttons to take a peek. Ideally, if you're doing true couch co-op, your friends you're playing with can look away from the screen for the 5 or so seconds for you to remember what does what. Outside of regular battles, you can do a climb through the gyms and eventually Elite Four through a series of matches against preset opponents. The wide variety of foes you'll face along the way rewards thoughtful team construction to minimize weaknesses, and is a great way to see much of what the combat in the Pokemon games has to offer, all while soaking in the exciting and sometimes extraordinarily inaccurate commentary.
Falling asleep is going to make this a one-sided fight.
Pokemon Stadium, despite its name, however, also works to remind you that there's more to life in the Pokemon world than battles, but that doesn't mean you can't be competitive. There's a series of mini-games you can compete in with up to 4 players. A lot of it's button mashing, with some occasional timing thrown in, but regardless of their simplicity, it's good, dumb fun. Clefairy Says requires you to memorize a button sequence as it keeps adding it on until all of the other players make enough mistakes that they're knocked out. Dig 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 is simply alternating pressing the 2 shoulder buttons as fast as you can in a race to dig underground. Ekans Hoop Hurl hilariously has you launching yourself onto Diglets as a ring toss game. Magikarp's Splash looks like it's about mashing A, but it's actually about finding a perfect rhythm and timing your jump to when you land from the previous one. In Rock Harden, you play as a Kakuna or Metapod, pressing and holding A just before getting hit by rocks. If you don't use it in time, you take massive damage, but you also slowly lose health as long as you're activating your ability, so 2 good players need to really time it perfectly to run against each other. Run Run Rattata has players spamming the run button, but also jumping over hurdles. Snore War is just about timing a button press on a pendulum. I'm terrible at it. Players in Sushi Go Round each control a hungry Lickitung, trying to eat as much sushi as it can, preferably the expensive kind. And lastly, Thundering Dynamo has players controlling Pikachu and Voltorbs, spamming A or B based on the color of the light shown. It's only 9 minigames, they're all really short, and there's absolutely no depth to them. But I've spent way more time in those minigames than I have in the actual battling in Pokemon Stadium. If anything, they're the game, and the battling is just a bonus. Join me tomorrow as I talk about the 229th game on my list, where, for an American, I am way too attached to a Bulgarian team in a fictional sport.